Miranda Barker, OBE, thank you so much for joining us today for our Little Chats, Big Stories chat. I know you're extremely busy with the myriad of things you've got on, so it's great to see you and have you join us today. To start off with, if we've got enough time to tell us what you're kind of involved in at the minute, because I know you're very, very busy.
Sure, no problem at all. Thank you very much. It's great to be here. So, Chamber of Commerce really is there for two reasons. One is it works for its members. It's a membership organisation, and we provide lots of services and support for them to meet other fellow businesses, their customers, and to get specialist advice and services about everything from international trade to low carbon. But also, Chambers of Commerce are a bit weird. They also work on behalf of the whole of the business community. So we work on behalf of the whole of the business community of East Lancashire. So that's 29,000 businesses. So as well as doing that, I also work on an organisation called Red Cat, which is all about supporting low carbon technologies land here and manufacture in Lancashire.
In terms of, I think you need a fair bit of energy to run a business, successfully. You're sort of running a county successfully, and you've got thousands of businesses to have you focus on. So in terms of how you, and as the chamber, how you filter down your offering and trying to keep a good service to all these wonderful businesses that we have of shapes and sizes, what sort of a challenge is that as an outset?
The hardest problem with reaching the businesses is literally that it's reaching the businesses. It's how you manage to talk to 29,000 businesses is really hard. So we use every way of doing that. But then the most important thing outside of that is how we can make sure the wider world knows about how wonderful Lancashire is and the business community that we've got. So we're the fourth largest aerospace cluster in the world. We've got as many automotive jobs in the area as you have in the West Midlands. It's just that we don't have primes. So the problem is, how do you get that message out to Lancashire County Council, to the government nationally, to the BBC, to potential customers in Bergen and Bonn and Berlin? How do we really sell the whole of Lancashire and the whole of our business community in a much wider sense? That's the big challenge.
As a business owner myself, when we're running a business, our job is to try and attract, be attracting to potential clients to make their businesses better. And I suppose your role and the Chamber's role, as you've alluded to, you're kind of doing the same, but your clients are government ministers, are number 10. Does that, have you got the same challenge as me as a business owner? Just with slightly different facts and figures around it?
I think it is the same. I mean, first of all, our clients are all of the business community as well. So we're trying to appeal to the very small shop round the corner, that we can help them meet their next supplier or their next customer, or we can help them have an energy audit on their shop to save money. But also, our client is also British Aerospace, in terms of can we help them find the trainees that they want, or get the international exporting that they want, and support them with that sort of documentation. But then, as you say, it's also trying to get the government minister to hear us, or trying to get the leader of Lancashire County Council to hear us about what does the local business community need. So we need to try and make connections with them, impress them with what they're saying, get them to come here and see what we do, exactly the same as you would do with a new tank, big tank customer.
I know recently you met the Prime Minister as just as one of your sort of daily duties, but do you find that really helps when you can get people, I suppose, from any walks of life into these amazing businesses, and to feel that passion and see the real care and love that goes into it? Does that really help shape decisions?
It does. It really does. And it's that law of sort of incremental returns. The more times we can get a minister or a prime minister into East Lancashire and seeing what we do and hearing what we do and being passionate about it, the more they will remember and remember and remember. And that, I think, is how Lancashire ended up with over £200 million of levelling up funding. It's the fact, it isn't one big thing that we've done to win that. It's the last 6 months or the last 6 years or the last 16 years of saying it and saying it and saying it, and trying to get ministers in to see what we do, trying to send businesses down to London and local authority representatives down to London to very much crow about how wonderful we are locally, and the fact that they should be putting money into the area and they should be putting investment in, because they will get a really good economic return back.
One question I've got, I'm sorry to use the R word, that seems to have gone quiet in the news, but I'm talking about recession. And there was maybe 6-8 weeks ago, it was very loud and clear that bad times were coming. And I know across the board there will always be businesses that are thriving and those that are struggling. But from our side, and when we're talking to our clients, we're hearing a heck of a lot of positivity, and not just blinkered blind faith, that generally the order books are good. You know, that there's people inquiring, you know, that business is certainly positive, not necessarily booming. What's your take on that, Miranda? And are you seeing the same things?
I am seeing the same things, and I have been throughout the last 3 years, even through COVID, and then emerging from COVID. When we spoke to our business community, they were saying our order books are full. We're actually having a really strong time with the order books. The things that are causing us pressure are all the things outside of that they can't control. Energy prices being where they are, which is crazy. Wage price inflation, raw materials if you're shipping something in from steel from wherever. Transport costs if you're having to ship something out and rent a container. All of those things, the prices have rocketed through the whole COVID period and afterwards. Those are the things that are painful. But business optimism is and has been for the last 3 years really, really strong. So I didn't think we were going to go down into recession. I know that our businesses are succeeding, but with all of these outside pressures on them. So our call to government is do something about the energy pricing, do something about the transport costs that don't seem to have come down post-COVID, do something about the skills shortage. Every business I know has still got jobs that they want to fill, and we wouldn't be saying that if we were in a recession.
And just back to your role within the chamber, and I think in the past we joined the chamber and we were very passive about it. We've then, a few years ago, we rejoined and with a different team, and really sort of, I'd say, to attack it. Sounds like we're storming the building, but we've just found a fantastic response. It's been, so many opportunities. For any businesses watching this, if they are currently members or they're thinking of joining, what would be your approach to them, and what would be your message to how to get the best out of the chamber?
Starts with exactly what you've just said. Joining a chamber is very much like joining a gym. If all you do is on January the 1st you join it and then you sit back, nothing will happen. But if you go to that gym, if you come to the chamber, that's when we can really help you do what you want. And also, any member of the chamber, it's not just one person that's the member, it's the whole company. So you can send somebody to our manufacturing events, you can send someone to our curry club, you can send someone to our training for HR people, you can send someone, you can use it across the whole of your staff base. But even more, you can come and say to us, how do we get the most out of this? And we will sit and work up a plan with you. The most important thing we need to do is talk to you, get to know what you need, and we'll help you make the most use of it. Absolutely.
So it's don't just sit on the sofa and wait for the magic to happen, as I have done with gyms as well in the past. So, Miranda, whenever we've seen you present or we see you talk about your role and about the county, there's always been absolute genuine passion and genuine sincerity there. Where does that come from, and how do you maintain it? Because you've had lots of roles. You're still so prolific in what you're doing. It must get exhausting.
It's one of those things about, if you want something doing, ask a busy person. I'm always flying around in circles, and it's tiring, but it's also thrilling to do it, because if you're doing something that you're enthusiastic about, it doesn't feel like work. If you're doing something that you're keen on, then you just do it with passion anyway. But my enthusiasm really comes from getting to know businesses. If I'm going and seeing a business and walking around someone, whether it's actually talking to you guys and seeing all of the different things that you've done that I didn't even know you produced, and just go, oh my goodness, or whether it's walking around everyone from British Aerospace to IoT Horizon and hearing people talk enthusiastically about what they do and what they can change and what their products are for, that is infusing. And then I want to turn around and say, what do you need? How can we help? And then it's getting that message out. So it's trying to literally change things. It's trying to help our businesses really thrive and succeed and compete on the biggest international scale that they can do. That really enthuses me.
Yeah, it's still, and I think certainly on our travels, and we've been fortunate to work in a fair few different places, a fair few different countries, but we love coming home, and yeah, we do love this county, and as you said, we're still every day amazed at the stories you hear that sometimes a small innocuous looking factory might be doing things for the space shuttle that they might just drop in, or Eurofighter, or something like that, and it's exciting. So as to keep this recession at bay, what would your advice be? What do we need to keep doing in Lancashire, and as business owners, what would your nugget be to keep us all safe and flourishing?
The energy pricing element is really key, because it's something where the price coming into you is completely out of your control. So it's really grasping that and looking at what you can do in terms of internal behaviour change in any size of business to reduce your energy use. Then looking at what you can do if there's any way you can install renewables in your own premises so that you're not having to be dependent on the national grid. Anything you can do to take control of that problem and make it something that you've got more control over, rather than a horrible huge bill coming from outside, is the best way to reduce that real financial pressure that's, like I say, beyond your control unless you really grasp it.
Miranda, you strike me as the sort of person that when the morning alarm clock goes off, you don't open your eyes and go, oh gosh, not again, but you're like, yeah, another day leading the chamber. Is it something that you do? I mean, you appear to love it, and you seem to have a lot of energy for it. Is it something that you really satisfies you on that personal level?
I think yes it does, and it's the ability to really make a difference if we do things right. And we saw that most acutely, I suppose, through the whole of COVID, because we were literally hearing from businesses, oh my goodness, this is the situation we're in. What can we do? How do we save ourselves? So we were then literally taking all of the business questions and needs straight to government and saying, we need this. This is how this has got to happen. This is how a furlough scheme's got to look. And we kept on taking those messages from businesses to government, and you could literally see the business support being defined day by day by day based on what we were saying. And that happens continually. And it happens about energy efficiency. Just this morning I'm on a government call about what energy efficiency support should be there for businesses. So we're helping literally shape what our businesses locally need, and we can only do that if our businesses tell us. So that's the thing that really enthuses me, because I feel that we really do make a difference.
Great stuff. I've got one last question, and it's the one that we ask everyone we meet, really. It's the elevator pitch, or the little 30 seconds in a lift. Someone sees you and says, oh, Miranda from the Chamber, I'm starting a business, or business is going great. Please give me that little bit of wisdom that I can take away and think, great, we're going to do this, and life will be good. No pressure, but what would your one nugget be?
Always do something that you're going to be enthusiastic about. Don't do something that you don't know about, that you can't wax lyrical about. Do something where people can say, God, you really care about that, you really know about that. And then use that enthusiasm, because people will believe you if you're enthusiastic about your product and your business, and they will listen to you, and they will remember you, and then when they need one of those widgets, you're the person they'll come to.
Miranda, an absolute joy to chat to you, and thank you as always for being so inspiring.
Thank you, Rob. It's been great to speak to you.